And of course, I want you to share when you get home, share it with your parents about what we talked about today too, because a lot of them grew up on this type of music and the content of this music too, so we can really be frank about it. Music that is suspect when it comes to waking up the people. And we're going to talk about music as culture. You guys familiar with culture? Culture is a people's way of life. How we deal with from our unborn children to how we bury our dead, and everything in between is a part of our culture. And music is a big part of our culture. So can we get like hacks? I don't know if we can see the presentation.
Yeah, if we hit the light, I can see you too. We can watch hit the light, and we'll. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, and so we're looking at the sad, embarrassing, and dangerous state of black music. And I see how some of the sisters and some of the people cringe when we mention some of these artists, because, and let me know if I'm keeping it real, some of these artists talk about a lot of dangerous stuff. Am I lying?
No.
And a lot of it is embarrassing. Am I lying?
No.
Now, how many girls or anybody are familiar with Cardi B?
Oh,
And how many are familiar with Nicki Garbage? You never heard of Nicki Garbage?
No, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, we call her Nicki Garbage.
Oh, Nicki Minaj.
There'll be a lot of nicknames that we deal with too. As a matter of fact, we were at a presentation in Chicago recently, and it was called the Mental Health Issues Associated with Music. And I was sitting in the front, I was on the panel, and looking out to the audience, and mostly adults in the audience. But there was one child playing with their game piece. And the brother who was putting it on, Dr. Abari Carpenter, a good brother, psychologist, he had his sister in the house with him that morning, and his little niece, and the song came on from G-Eazy. Are y'all familiar? Y'all know G-Eazy? Mm-hmm. And the song is called No Limit. You know that song?
Yes.
Who in here doesn't know the song No Limit? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 people who don't know it. Okay, so as the song was playing, one time in our life or 2 times, and okay, and so then everybody in the audience, while he's playing the song, is just listening, mostly adults. And a 7-year-old found out, he was on his game, he put his game down, and he was mouthing all the words to this song. And who knows the lyrics to this song? And right? And so out of all the adults in there, only the 7-year-old was mouthing the words to this song. And the song should be for nobody under 60 or 40 should listen to the lyrics of the song. Am I lying?
No.
It ain't even good for us. So it's sad and embarrassing and it's dangerous. This is part of a presentation I did at Southern University, which is a college in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I went to. And so it was based on that. So this is we talked about it there. When was that? When did we do it? What day is that? On there?
No, that's February 28, 2018.
So not too long ago, we were there in Louisiana and did this presentation. Those are brothers with us that you see right there, college students right there. We're outside of McDonald's in Chicago. That was the first black-owned McDonald's in the country. And we already have struggles with McDonald's because of the quality of food that they serve the black community and any community. But also they advertise on radio stations that play this poison. And so we asked McDonald's by demonstrating. We said, McDonald's, would you buy commercials on a radio station that played music that talked about shooting and killing dogs? And guess what they said? They said no. They would not buy commercials on a radio station that played music that bragged about, I'm going to shoot and kill dogs. So we asked them, well, why do you buy commercials on radio stations that brag about shooting and killing black people? And they had nothing to say. Yet they still wouldn't take their commercials off these radio stations that constantly play the music from the artists you all talked about. Because just about all of them talk about shooting and killing who?
Black people.
Exactly. And this isn't our music. I mean, we know music, black people, our music has been so beautiful, so great. And back in the 60s, there was an issue with Dr. King. You guys maybe already studied this. And issues with civil rights and the people coming together. And you know when the turning point was in Alabama? Is when they got to the music, got on the radio, and they got the youth. It was time for us, as youth, to come out and demonstrate and fight against the segregation and just bad treatment of black people. It was the youth. Just like today in Florida and all over the country. Last week, children stayed out of school or left out of school for a minute, right? Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah.
Because of the people going into schools, shooting up the schools. So they had a thing they called Never Again, hashtag Never Again, telling the government to do something about these gun laws. We don't want all this shooting. But yet when it comes to the music, nobody's saying anything about, stop talking about, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shooters, say it again. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Shooters ready to gun you down.
Is that recorded? Did y'all know that?
I
Did you know that?
didn't know that.
This is just chilling me. It's chilling me because this is what they're doing to our children. And y'all at Marcus Garvey School, y'all at African Center School. So just imagine what's happening at these other schools. And we ain't even started yet, so let's get them all rolling on this. What do we do here? Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about. Hip-hop history. Early years, the 70s and 80s, way back, y'all. The golden age of hip-hop, and we got from 88 to 94. Some people say it's from 86 to 96. But somewhere around the late 80s, early 90s was the golden age of hip-hop. Kwabena was a DJ at that time in college, and I would be playing the music, we dancing off music that talked about Marcus Garvey. That's what we were partying and dancing to, and having fun to, and playing ball to. Conscious music, music that was waking us up. So we're gonna deal with that. And then what happened at the turn of the century, how we messed up, and the history of struggles to clean it up, which we're engaged in right now. We're gonna deal with today's ratchetness, which we already talked about a little bit, mainstreaming the debauchery, and debauchery is just all sorts of vile and crazy stuff that's going on in the music. And current movements to remove or clear and remove the ratchetness. Okay, these three dudes up in front, up top, Grandmaster Flash, Bambaataa, and Kool Herc. Kool Herc's sister, Kool Herc was from Jamaica. His sister said she wanted to throw a party, and she needed a DJ. So Kool Herc said, okay, I'll DJ it. And so what he would do, instead of just playing the record, we had records. Anybody familiar with records on wax on vinyl? So he would take the record, and when the beat would happen, a certain motion of the beat, he'd stop it and bring it back, So he was doing something different. And that's what hip-hop did. So Kool Herc was one of the best DJs back in the day, one of the original people doing hip-hop, before you knew what hip-hop was. The brother to the right, in the middle, Bambaataa went to Africa. He was part of a gang. When he went to Africa, they talked about, let's leave these gangs alone, let's start being united and having fun. And so he said, we're going to stop doing the gangbanging in New York. We're going to start partying and having dance-offs and things like that and contests with rapping. So that's Africa Bambaataa. And then on the left is Grandmaster Flash, who was an electrician. So he was also a DJ. And so he invented this switch where you can cross over from song to song. So you wouldn't have to drop the record and stop it and start all over. He can just cross it over. And that's what Grandmaster Flash did. There's a song called, one of the greatest rap songs ever, where it said, don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. Y'all know that song?
I do.
I'm trying not to lose my head. And that was Grandmaster Flash on the left and the Furious Five. So that's what they did. And then you got Curtis Blow. He's on the left out here. Curtis Blow did Christmas Rap, which was a great song. It's still a great song. And basketball. We're playing basketball, and these are the Braids.
Oh, yeah.
You know that song? Okay. But Christmas Rap, to me, is my favorite. That came out when hip-hop.
My mom's close to our age, so my mom plays a lot of the same stuff.
Oh, she does? Okay. Yeah, that Christmas Rap, though. Oh, I used to love that song. I still love it, because every year, even though I don't celebrate Christmas like that, but I celebrate that song. Curtis Blow. And then the girls. As soon as hip-hop came out, there were girls. It was a sequence. Gonna funk you right on up. Gonna funk you right on up. Say, get up, get up, get up, get up, get back down. It was kind of a funky song, too. But one of the singers, rappers in there, name was B. Angie B. And that's none other than Angie Stone. She still makes good music, like music today. So she was with us back then. Hip-hop on record came out in '79. I remember when I was in high school, the biggest song was Sugar Hill Gang. To the hip, the hip to the hip, the hip,
My dad plays on a lot of that stuff.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then there was a band, Fatback Band had a song called I Like the Girls and Got to Get My Hands on Some Money and Backstroke and all that stuff. But they had a song called King Tim III, which was a hip-hop song from a band. And that's when I memorized all that stuff. Because as a youth, you know, that's our music, it's our culture. It's our way of life, and we love the music. We were locking and popping and all that. You don't know about that, how LA was tough with that, we were doing all that. Popping and, I don't know about that. So anyway, Love the music. And hey, that's what it was. Having fun. We're having fun with the music until the message came out that we talked about earlier. The message came out about '82, and that was like, oh, we can use this to deal with issues, you know, to deal with consciousness. That was in the message. My son says, well,
Daddy, I don't want to go to school.
so the teacher's a jerk. He must think I'm a fool. You know, the kids smoke reefer. I think it'd be cheaper if I just got a job, learn to be a street sweeper. Dance in the street, shuffle my feet, wear a shirt and tie, and run with the crease. But it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a con in this. Anyway, see? That was the message. It's still a good song. Check it out even today. Fun. Run DMC. They had a song called "You Talk Too Much." You know?
You never shut up.
And it's crazy because I'm with my sister now. I'm visiting, I'm staying with her. And her little girls, you all's age, and her two little sisters, we'd always be in there. I put on "You Talk Too Much" and they just love it. And then I play "Your Big Mouth." There's another song. Y'all heard "Big Mouth" yet?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's when they talking too much in class. You know? Okay.
And fun. But we're in a club as college students, and adults dancing and having fun to this music. You know, and it was fun. And then we had Roxanne, we had with UTFO, LL Cool J, and
Fat Boys.
Fat Boys, world class record crew out of LA with Dr. Dre, who gave us Kendrick Lamar. So they were doing that. Some of it was hardcore, Boogie Down Productions. They were, again, talking about issues. Public Enemy, talking about issues. Eric B and Rakim, who are finally getting back together now to do a tour, talking about issues. And just so much creativity and so much revolutionary music. Again, talking about Marcus Garvey, talking about Malcolm, Dr. King, talking about Kwame Ture. Then we had the gangster stuff. Our homeboy from here, Ice-T. We had two live crew. That word ends was attitude. And to me, y'all, we got to look at that word. That word, Nigger or AS, however you want to spell it, is the most vile, disgusting, despicable, dangerous, offensive word in English or any other language. It is a horrible word. That word is associated with killing people. You're not worth life. You know, this is, when they had us enslaved, y'all, you can't really do that to anybody without feeling bad about it. You can't do that to people. You can't sell people's children away from their mothers and fathers without feeling any type of guilt about it. You can't beat anybody down and assault them. You can't make them work from can't see in the morning until can't see at night without paying them, without feeling bad about that. Also, you can't go over to Vietnam and kill 3 million people without feeling bad about that. You can't be in Rwanda and Burundi and do genocide on a whole bunch of people without feeling bad about it. You know how you can do it without feeling bad about it? Let me tell you how you can do that without feeling bad about it. You can, anybody know idea how you can do it without feeling bad about it? Or to relieve that guilt? What do you think?
Share your condolences.
After you do a share condolences? It's a good thought. I mean, because a lot of them didn't do that. They don't do that. This is what you can do. You can dehumanize them. You can't do that to a human being, but you can do that to a dog. You can do that to a gook, which is what they call the people in Vietnam when they killed millions of them. You can do that to a cockroach, which is what they call the Africans in Rwanda that they killed millions of just 20-some years ago. They wouldn't call them human beings or Africans or people. They would call them cockroaches. The reason why those Europeans were able to enslave us like that, a lot of them, because they dehumanized us. We were not Africans. We were not human beings. We were Nigger's. Right? That's what they considered us. So even though they knew deep inside, and some of them didn't do that because some of them said, okay, we're going to work to abolish this. Some of them did work with us to abolish it. But the majority or the masses of what they did, they consider us as Niggers or A's. And so today, we call ourselves what? That word. And it's in the music. And then you're going to say, okay, we're going to change the spelling of it. Come on. How many of us, we spell sucker, S-U-C-K-E-R, right?
Yeah.
Well, how do we say it? Sucker.
Sucker.
With the A, right?
Yes.
We spell player, P-L-A-Y, E-R. But how do we say it?
Player.
So it ain't no difference. It's just little African ebonics, pretty much. And it was a good attempt to say, okay, we went back in ancient time and we found a word where that is equated to Negus, N-E-G-U-S, or the goose who laid the golden egg, or kings and queens. But that's not the context that we're using it when we say die in the music. when we call a sister and B in the music, that's not a queen or a king. That's a dehumanizing term. And so what happens in our community today? We shoot and kill each other like it ain't nothing. How many of y'all familiar with Dage Loaf?
Who?
Dage Loaf.
I don't know.
Let me do it. So, let it in, try me.
Oh,
I'ma get
yeah.
us. I'ma get us what?
DJ Loaf?
Dage Loaf was the name. If I say it, can y'all finish up? Let it in, try me. I'ma get us whole
Family.
whole family. I'm gonna get his whole MFN family. She said, I hate M's, I'm a Nazi. She says this in the song. It was called Try Me. It was out 3 or 4 years ago. Y'all, hopefully, some of you still may know it. This was in the song. And they invited her to the Essence Fest. Now, Essence is supposed to be the magazine for black women. And she's invited to the Essence Fest to sing this song in front of all these black women and black people in New Orleans a couple years ago. How many of y'all heard of Bobby Shmurda? He had a song called Hot N-I-G-G-A. It was all about killing black people. This is about killing people, and they played it. Matter of fact, there's a guy out of L.A., L.A. Reid is his name. He was with the Deal way back in the day. So L.A. Reid became a music producer. So this song was hot on the internet. People said listen on Spotify, internet, things like that, right? YouTube. So it was kind of hot on YouTube. But he said, okay, we're going to take this song, we're going to get this guy a $2.8 million contract, and then we're going to blow his song up all around the country, which is what they did. Now, he's in jail right now for telling on himself. He talked about some people who he shot and killed in the song. And now he's in jail.
I thought he was dead.
Bobby Shmurda? No, he's not dead. He's in jail. The golden age of hip hop, we talked about it again. You guys familiar with these names? Some of y'all read, let me see. Read off the first line for me, and then somebody else get the second. Oh, first, second, third, fourth. Can y'all read that for us? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. 10. Okay, go ahead. Read off the start with us.
Golden age of hip hop. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Public Enemy, African Medallions, Boogie Down Productions, Daishikis,
Okay. Okay, stop there. So you read it all, which is good. Go ahead, next sister.
Ashra Kwesi.
You forgot Poor Righteous Teacher?
Oh, Poor Righteous Teacher. Intelligent Hoodlum.
Okay.
Afrocentric 80s. X-Clan. Rookie.
Ronoko.
Renoko Rashid.
That's my man there. He's still around giving good information to the people based in LA, but I just love his name. Say that name again.
Rukno Rashid.
Ronoko.
Renoko Rashid.
Yeah, that's me and Tabini know him pretty good. And just his name to me is, I just love that. That's somebody's name, I just love that name. Ronoko Rashid. Okay, next.
King Son, Stolen Legacy.